Hi, Liam Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Today I'm teaching you to play Just Your Fool. We're looking at the Rolling Stones version. There's a nice little harmonica intro to that, played by Mick Jagger, and we're going to be playing on a D harmonica. The song is in the key of A. We're going to be playing a D harmonica in second position. If that means nothing to you, don't worry, just get your D harmonica and play along. If you don't have a D harmonica, don't worry, you can still follow the tab and learn how to play it. It would just be playing it in a different key. So, we'll get started with each line. We'll take it line by line, and then we'll try playing the whole thing as well at the end. This is a song that goes right back to the 50s. Buddy Johnson originally recorded it, and then there was a famous Little Walter version, lots of other versions of it, so check those out as well. But we're following the Rolling Stones version that they recently released on their blues album. Okay, so let's have a little listen to how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a general gist of how it's going to sound. We've got 7 lines, A to G. Line A sounds something like this. Okay, so we've got a 2 draw, and then a 3 draw semitone bend, 4 blow, and then we have a 4 draw that goes into a semitone bend, and then a 3 draw 2 draw, and it kind of slides down those 3 draw and 2 draw. So it's a really cool lick, that. Very common in blues harmonica playing to do that kind of run down, slide down from the 4 draw to the 2 draw, but include the 4 draw bend in there. Okay. So if I play that line slowly, we've got... If we take it up to more like full speed, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. That might have been a bit fast, actually. It's not that fast, the tune. It's kind of a shuffly sort of feel. Kind of rock and roll shuffle. Line B is actually very similar to line A. There's one note that's different. The third note, instead of being a 4 blow, we go to a 4 draw. So we've got... So the 4 draw is played twice there. Instead of going 4 blow, 4 draw, and then the slide down, we go 4 draw, and then slide down. That's the note. Just that slight difference. So you might want to do a bit of practice between A and B, getting the difference between them. So A, B, and then you could go back and do A, alternate between the two. Very similar. Could easily be mistaken for being the same line. If you weren't really discerning the difference between them, you might hear them as the same line, but there is that crucial difference. I don't know if he meant to do that. You'd have to ask Mick, but it's in there, and we're going to play that difference. Okay, so let's have a go at lines A and B together. I'm going to count us in on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, okay, cool. Line C, we have something a bit like this. Okay, so we've got 2 draw 3 times, and then 3 draw semitone bend twice, and then 2 draw again. Okay. Now, I'm aware that Tomlin has done a lesson on this, by the way, and I'm sorry for treading on your toes, Tomlin. I've had a few requests for this from some of my students, so I thought I've got to put one out there. I think your lesson's great. I have done a slightly different tab, so I suppose this is my 2 cents on the tune and the way I've heard it. This line I've done slightly different from Tomlin's. The reason is that I'm hearing more on the last note instead of a triplet, as he's put. Actually, I think the whole line triplets. To me, it's sounding more like, and maybe just a bit of vibrato on the last note. It's not make or break for this tune. Follow Tomlin's if you like, he's great. But the way I'm hearing it is triplets on the 2 draw, so that's da da da, 1 2 3, and then 3 draw semitone bend twice, and then 2 draw again. And if possible, put some vibrato on that 2 draw when you go back to it. Look at my lesson on vibrato if you want to learn that technique. So line C in full would be something like. So if we play lines A, B and C together, it sounds something like this. I'll count us in on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line C. Okay, cool. So it's starting to really get interesting now. We're on to the 4 chord, by the way. If you're thinking about chord changes, we'd now be on to the 4 chord for line C. Line D is similar to line C. I've got it a little bit different the end of the line. So we've got 2 draw 3 times and then 3 draw semitone bend twice, just as we have earlier. And then we've got 2 draw 3 times again. So we are going to play that triplet, that set of 3 notes. If we put lines C and D together, they sound something like this. Okay, and at that point, we'd be on to line E almost immediately, because D and E really could be taken together. The only reason I haven't put them as one line is because there's so many notes involved, it would get a bit confusing and it might be too much to take in as one line. But really we'd be straight on. So if I put line D onto line E, then we'd have. So they're really joined up like that. But if we take line E on its own, and I'll play it a little slower, we've got. And the tab is 3 draw semitone bend, 4 blow, 4 draw that then bends and then unbends, if you like, releases the bend. And then we have a 4 draw bend that releases and then comes back again to the bend, slides down to the 2 draw, then a 4 blow, 3 draw semitone bend, 2 draw. Now that on its own is quite a lot, even just line E. Okay, so we're going to have a think at splitting this up. So the first half of line E doesn't sound as complicated as the tab is when you try and explain it. So that is just the 3 draw semitone bend, 4 blow, and then a bend on 4 draw that bends and comes back up. So can you hear that? If I slow it down, and then the second half of the line is. So that's where we're starting on a bend on 4, we release it and then apply it again, but almost immediately slide down to the 2 draw. And that's that slide we were talking about, very common to slide from the 4 down to the 2. So really good skill to learn. and then a 4 blow, 3 draw semitone bend, and then a 2 draw. So the second half of line E. If we put line E together again, we have something like this. Okay, it's a really cool bit. I think that's my favourite bit about this intro. Really, really nice. So, if we're on to line F, we'd have something like... Okay, now just a disclaimer, the end of this line, it's a little bit messy. It's hard to tell exactly what he's doing. I've put those 3 notes there because it's kind of something like that, but if you listen to it, it's almost... It kind of almost slides off and it's not really a true note, so we're taking a little bit of a liberty with that just to clean it up a tad. But the tab we've got for line F is 4 draw, then 4 draw bend, then back up to the 4 draw, and then it tails off on a bend again. So we're just up and down on 4 draw for that bit. And then we have that classic again, 4 draw that bends and then a slide down to the 2 draw. And then we're going 2 draw second bend, so full step bend. Then 1 draw and then 2 draw. And this is the bit, really I'm taking a bit of a liberty with it just because it's hard to tell exactly what he's doing there. It's a little bit messy. It's kind of a, you know, so I've just standardized it a bit. So. Which is a classic line again that's used a lot in blues. Second bend on 2, 1 draw, 2 draw. Really great to learn. You hear it a lot in kind of shuffly stuff. So you hear that. Which is why I put it in here, just something like what he's playing. Line G, our final line, and then we're going to have a go at playing the whole thing together. It's a little bit weird, okay. There's what I'm hearing as semitone bends on 2 draw. Now, it would be quite standard to play a 2 draw natural note at this point, or to play a full step bend on 2. They sound to me like he's hitting the first bend. They don't sound quite like a natural note, and they don't sound quite like the full bend. I don't know if that's what he intended to do. I don't know if he's just being a little bit jazzy with this. Maybe I'm mishearing it, so it could be my own mistake. But what I'm hearing it as is this. So that first bit, I'm not hearing quite, that's the 2 draw, or that's the 2 draw second bend. It's somewhere in between. So we've got 2 draw half step twice, and then 1 draw, and then we do play the 2 draw full step bend, and then 1 draw, 2 draw, 2 draw full step bend, 1 draw. The guitar, I believe, is doing a kind of triplet. Da 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 da. I'm sure I'm not singing the right notes, but kind of da 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 da. Bit more like that. But I'm trying to follow what's happening with the harmonica, what Mick Jagger's actually doing. So he's doing a. And again. And once more. Rhythmically, it's really, really nice, and again, quite a classic style in terms of the rhythm that he's playing, so really, really nice one to get. Just have a little bit of work on those middle bends. I hope I am hearing it right. It kind of surprised me when I heard it. You often get used to certain patterns, and I went, ooh, that's not what I expected. So it is what it is as far as I can tell. Let's have a go at playing the whole thing now, from lines A to G. I'm going to count us in on 4. I'll try and pick a tempo that's pretty close to the actual song itself. So if you want to play along with me now, only do so if you've got used to each of those lines as we've gone on and you've got comfortable with those, because we're playing full speed now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, very, very nice. It's actually a really, really nice introduction to the song, and it really sets the song up well. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this with me today. Please check out the other versions of Just Your Fool, by the way, because there's so many lovely versions of it, and if you haven't heard them and you just know this song as a Rolling Stones tune from their new album, there's loads of versions out there to check out, so do go and have a listen. I do a version with my electric band as well, so check out the Liam Ward Band. If you YouTube that name, Liam Ward Band, you'll find my other channel, Liam Ward Music, where I put all my live videos on as well. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this today with me. Please give me your comments, your questions, your queries about this or anything else harmonica related. You can leave a comment beneath the video. You can contact me by email. I'm at contact@LearnTheHarmonica.com. You can also find me on Facebook, search for LearnTheHarmonica.com, or you can find me on Twitter at LearnTheHarp. We've got a lovely community of harmonica players from absolute beginners to experts, professional players on there discussing all sorts of harmonica stuff as well. So get on there to further your harmonica education. I take requests for my lessons, so if there's something you'd really, really like to learn, please contact me, and I try and do as many as possible. I can't do everyone's, but I do as many as I can. So please get in touch if there's something in particular. Until then, enjoy your playing, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.